Hello guys, welcome to my channel Sky Hub. So this is our day 7 of the ultimate MERN project where we build a LeetCode clone from scratch. So at today we build our sign up form, which is basically our front end using UI, DaisyUI plus Tailwind CSS. Then next we set up our Vite plus React frameworks. Then we create our React routers for sign up route, login route, forget password route and reset password route. Next we use React hook form plus Jod validation to create our sign up form, login form, forget password form and reset password form using React hook form, and for validation we use Jod. So let's start and go to our VS Code. So till now we have built our user router slash sign up slash login slash logout slash password slash forgot slash password slash reset and token. So for corresponding these routes, we have built their function, which is sign up function, login function, logout function, forget password function and reset password function. So now today we will start our front end building, and for this we use React framework, and in variant we use JavaScript inside Vite config. So let's go to our Google Chrome and search Vite. So this is our Vite website, vite.dev. So click on get started. Here we see how to install the Vite. So the command is npm create vite@latest. So copy it and now open your VS Code. Here we have at LeetCode directory, then change the directory to front end. Change directory front end. After that, paste the command npm create vite@latest. Hit enter. In project name, we give it same as front end. It choose front end. In package name we give it as front end. Now in select a framework, so we choose React. After that, for variant we choose JavaScript. For use roll down Vite, no. Install with npm and start now, yes. So here all the dependencies with npm are installing. So now our all npm packages are installed successfully and our server is started at localhost 5173. So open your Google Chrome. So here is our page at localhost 5173 port. Page icon, Vite plus React, count is 0. Click on it. Then its state is changed from 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Edit and click on Vite and React logos to learn more. If we click it here, then a new page is open for Vite. If we click on React icon, then a new page is open for React. That's all. Now go to our VS Code, and inside VS Code there are several files and folders are made. First is node module, second is public, third is source.getIgnored, eslint.config.js, index.html, package log.json, package.json, readme.md, and Vite config. So now go to our index.html. So basically our frontend starts from index.html file, and here it fetches the data from main.jsx. So it will be our main file. So main.jsx is inside our source folder. This is main.jsx. So in Vite.js extension changes into .jsx, that is JavaScript XML. Now main.jsx folder fetches the data from app.jsx. So here inside app.jsx, this is our actual page code which is shown in our Google Chrome. That is, so first here is the anchor tag for reference of the link of vite.dev. Then there is an image, logo image. After that there is a react.dev link which is attached to React logo image. Then after that there is heading 1, Vite plus React. You can see that here is Vite logo, here is React logo. Then this is heading 1, Vite plus React. After that here it creates a button, and on click set count to count plus 1. Basically it changes the state from count to set count. After that there is a paragraph, edit source app.jsx and save to test HMR. There is another paragraph, click on the Vite and React logos to learn more. So to stop our localhost, press Ctrl plus C, and to run again it, use command npm run dev. Again our server is starting. Here is npm run dev. So here it imports Vite logo from vite.svg. So here is react.svg for React logo, and inside public there is Vite.svg for Vite logo, and it imports inside app.jsx. For CSS it uses app.csx file. For root.logo, hover, .logo react, keyframes, logo spin, @media, .card, .read the docs. And inside class name it uses the CSS. This is index.csx. So we don't need these things. So first remove it all. delete these assets folder, and inside public folder also delete vite.xvg. Now inside app.jsx we create a function app which returns hello. Here we export our app function. In main.jsx we don't need index.css. Then go to index.html. Here we fetch main.jsx and in title we give it as LeetCode. Here is vite.svg image in title. We change it later to LeetCode logo. Now open Google Chrome. So next in our project we use DaisyUI for simplicity, and we also install Tailwind CSS. So go to Google Chrome and search DaisyUI. Now click on how to use it. Here choose framework Vite. There is a command to install Tailwind CSS and DaisyUI. So copy it. Now go to VS Code, stop the server and paste it. So all the dependencies are installed. Again go to DaisyUI and see how to set up it. Here is our viteconfig.js. Here we export Tailwind CSS from Tailwind CSS/Vite, and we also have to use it in plugin. So our Tailwind CSS configuration is completed. Next step is put Tailwind CSS and DaisyUI in your CSS file. So copy these two things and go to index.css. Now open your Google Chrome and see how DaisyUI is used So here go to DaisyUI components, button. So for using in this, we have HTML and JSX. So we use, so only the difference is in HTML we use class and in JSX we use class name. So by using only this line, we can create this button. So we need not to explicitly explain the CSS. Just use a class name which is button and our button is made. That's the beauty of DaisyUI. Here there is command for button, button small, button large, button extra large. For responsive button, for button color, we use button, button natural, button primary, button secondary. For outline, we use this for dashed outline. There are various types of button. For like, we use this. For login buttons, we use this, login with Google, login with Facebook. Next, we have drop downs. For avatar, we use these things. Only use these 4 lines. We can get this avatar with ring. There are also many types of batches. For creating cards, just write these things and our card is completed. So we need not to explicitly explain their color, its text size and etc. This is hover 3D effect. For listing, we use this. For navbar, we can use these commands. We use pagination in our project. For alerts, we use these commands. There are various type of alerts. Also various type of loading. So for radial process, we can use this. So there are many things like input fields. For input field, just add class name as input and the input field is created. For footer, use footer title. That's it. So there are various features inside our DaisyUI components. So go through it. And now let's go to our VS Code. So we can see that in our backend, we have 5 routes. For sign up route, login route, logout route, password forget route, password reset route. So for every route, we have to create a certain page to display. So for routing, like slash sign up slash login slash password forgot slash password reset, we use React router. Now open your Google Chrome and search for React router. This is React router. Also search for npm React router. Here is the command to install npm I React router. So copy it and go to VS Code. So React router is installed. So now inside declarative mode, go to installation. So here there is command npm I React router. First we have to install Vite@latest. Then for finally render a browser router around your application, we have to import browser router and we have to put app inside our browser router. For this, open your VS Code. So import browser router from React router. And after strict mode, we have to put browser router. So here basically in first line, we have to import strict mode from React. So strict mode components from the React library. This component is used during development to highlight potential problems in an application. For example, unsafe lifecycle. It does not render any visible UI. Next, we create root from React DOM/client. This is basically modern recommended way to initialize a React application from React 18 plus application. It replaces the older React DOM.render. So basically previously we use React DOM.render, but now we have to use React DOM/client. Next we import app.jsx. So we import our main app component, which defines the application's structures and routing logic. So for front-end routes, all the routes are defined inside app.jsx. Next, we have browser router component from React router library. This is the router implementation that uses the HTML5 API to keep the UI in sync with the URL. Next is create root document.get element by id root.render. So basically it finds the empty div id is equal to root element in the index.html. This is div id is equal to root, and next it calls create root to create a React root instance attached to the DOM element. This root is where the entire React tree will be rendered. So next it creates root and calls the React root to create a React root instance attached to the DOM element. This element is where the entire React tree will be rendered. For rendering, we use .render. It calls the render method on the newly created root instance to start rendering the React element. After that, we use strict mode, which is basically a component tree. This is the JSX structure being rendered into the root element. So inside strict mode, we wraps the entire application from development time check. Next is our browser router. So inside browser router, we wraps the app component. This is mandatory for any component inside to use React router hooks and components. Now next is our app. This is the actual core component containing the application UI and navigation logic. So that's all for our main.jsx file. So let's learn about our Vite config.js. So here first we import define config from Vite. It imports the define config helpers function from the Vite build tool. Using this helper, it provides better intelligence. For example, code suggestions and type checking for the configuration object. Next is our import React from Vite.js/plugin-React. So it imports the official Vite React plugin. This plugin handles necessary configuration for React like fast refresh during development and optimizing the JSX compilation for the process building. Next we import Tailwind.csx. So this plugin integrates Tailwind CSS into the Vite build process, enabling features like automatic CSS imports and processing the Tailwind directives in your CSS file. Next, we define and export the configuration object using the define config wrapper. And inside our plugin, there is two components, React and Tailwind CSS. Basically, this is the core of our configuration. It lists the plugin Vite should use to process the project files. First is React. So it activates React support, and second is Tailwind CSS. So it activates the Tailwind CSS support, ensuring that utilities are correctly processed and bundled. And at the end, we closes the configuration object. Now, inside our index.csx, we stored two files, @import tailwind.css and @plugin DaisyUI. So first, this line is the directive that imports and includes all of the Tailwind CSS utility classes into the style sheet, and this must be present for Tailwind's generated style to work. and at the rate plugin DaisyUI component, it specifies that DaisyUI component library as a Tailwind plugin. DaisyUI provides pre-designed components like button, card, input border that simply building modern UIs on top of Tailwind. Now next, open your Google Chrome and go to the routing to see how to create routes. So for routing, we have to import browser router, routes and route. And inside browser router, we use routes, and for route, we use route path. So open your VS Code. First import route and routes. Next, inside function app, we first create routes, and inside routes, we define different route. So route path is equal to, so first let's create our sign up route. So for this, we use slash accounts slash sign up. Inside element, we give sign up. Next, we also have to create 3 more routes for login, forget password and reset password. So copy it and paste. Paste. Path is our accounts slash login. Next, password slash forgot, and next password slash reset. Now use Alt and press enter for 2 cursors. Here we give login. Next, we give forget password. Next, we give reset password. Now, after creating these routes, we have to create their corresponding pages. So for this, inside source, we have to create a pages folder. First page is our Signup.jsx. Make sure use S capital. Next is our login.jsx. Next is our forgot password. Last is our reset password. That's it. And now after that, we have to import all these JSX file inside our app.jsx. So import. Then next import login. Next import forgot password. Next import so in line first, we import routes and route, the two essential components from React router. The routes container components defines where the routing logic lives. Only one route inside routes is rendered at a time, and the route is the component used to map a specific URL path to a specific component. Next, we import 4 pages components that will be rendered at different URL. These files are located in the /pages directory relatives to the app.jsx file. Next, we define app component, main functional component of the application, typically the entry point for all UI and routing. After that, we use return. So it starts the return of the JSX for the components. Next, these two lines are basically the React fragment to wrap the content and initiates the routes container. This component looks at the current URL and finds the best matching route to render. After that, we maps the path /account/signup to the signup component. Then next we map /account/login path to the login component. Same for forget password and reset password. We export the app component so it can be imported and rendered in the main application, which is main.jsx. Now go to index.html. Here, doc type HTML, we defines the document type to be HTML5. Next, there is root element of the HTML page specifying the language as English, which is EN. Next is the metadata container, contains the information about the HTML document. Next, meta charset UTF-8, it is basically a character encoding, specifies the character encoding for the documents as UTF-8, which supports almost all characters and symbols. Next, we'll link the icon, and this small icon is displayed in the browser tab. So here, let's change their file to /LeetCode.svg. After that, we have viewport configuration. It is crucial for responsive design. It sets the viewport width to the device width and sets the initial zoom level to 1. After that, we set titles, and this text appears in the browser tab or window title bar. Then here our head tag is closed and body tag is starts. Inside body tag, it contains all the visible content of the HTML document. Then div id is equal to root is basically our application mount point. This is the entry div with the id root is the crucial element where the entire React application will be mounted and rendered by JavaScript. The application replaces this entry, this empty content. After that, we have a script tag. That is basically the JavaScript entry point. It links the main JavaScript file that bootstraps and runs the application. The type is equal to module. This attributes indicates that the script should be treated as a JavaScript module, enabling modern features like imports or exports. After that, body tag is closes and HTML tag is closes. Now let's go to our Signup.jsx to build our signup functionality. So first, open your Google Chrome and search LeetCode. This is basically the LeetCode homepage. Here is create account and sign in. Let's click on create account. There is the loading icon. Here is the /accounts/signup route. This is header, this is footer. There is a LeetCode logo. Here is also LeetCode logo, and here is also LeetCode logo. There are 4 fields: username, password, confirm password, email address. This is the Cloudflare middleware for verifying that you are a human or bot. This is sign up button. If you have an account, then sign in, or you can sign in with Google, GitHub and Facebook. There is a premium button. So that's all for our sign up page. Next, we have sign in page or login page. So this is loading icon. So the routes for login is /account/login. Here is username or email field. So this inputs takes both username and email. There is password field. Here is icon for I open and I close. Cloudflare middleware. Then sign in button. If you forget password, then click on this, and for sign up, click on this. Let's click on forget password. So this is our forget password page, where there is also header, register, sign in, password reset. There is a message, or basically a card, an email address input field, and a reset my password button. That's all. Here you can see that as soon as the cursor goes to the username or email, it is getting black bordered, and after when I click it, its border shadows goes to yellow. Here also it goes to yellow. Here this page background is somewhat gray. In sign in button there is also transition. As soon as the cursor goes on sign in, its color composition changes. Basically on hover it changes its opacity. So let's build these all things. So now open your Signup.jsx. So for creating forms like sign up form, login form, forget password form, we use React hook form component. So now open your Google Chrome and search for React hook form. So this is React hook form website. There is a command for installing React hook form, npm install React hook form. Copy it, paste it, and open your VS Code, enter. So our React hook form is installed successfully. Now again go to your Google Chrome. So for this we have to import use form from React hook form. Here it imports use form from React hook form. Then inside form tag it uses on submit, handle submit function, first name. For input field we use like this, slice operator register first name, then slice operator register gender. For options value, these are the validations like required true, max length this, pattern this. But for validation we use better option. So go to our schema validation, and here we have several options, like we also support schema based validation with yup, jod, superstruct, JOI. So in our project we use jod. So now go to jod. Here You can see its basic usage, imports all as G from Jod. So just username get.string. So by adding .string, it handles all the validations that username must be a string, .number, .email. So these are the primitive type, .string, .number, .null, .parse, .string, .max, .min, .length, .regex, .lowercase, .uppercase, .trim, .to lowercase. For email, there is .email validation, UUID validation, URL validation, JWT validation. So for installing this, we use npm I jod. Now copy it. So our jod is installed successfully. So now as you can see that for using jod, we have to install our hook form resolver. We have to import our jod resolver from hook form resolver. So search npm hook form resolver. And then install it. So how to use it? First, import use form from React hook form. Import jod resolver from hook form /resolver/jod. Import G from jod. Const schema is equal to g.object. Let's copy it. Now open your VS Code. The hook form resolver is successfully installed. Paste all the code. So we have to import use form from React hook form, jod resolver, and G from jod. We don't need these things. Basically, use form is used for managing forms, state, validation, and submission. We import jod resolver, which integrates the jod validation schema with React hook form. Then we import the jod library itself, used for defining runtime schema validation. So as we know that we have to create our 4 sign up schema: username, password, confirm password, and email. So for password and confirm password, we have to check it that it is matched or not. So basically, we first creates the base sign up schema. Then after checking the password and confirm password, we create a new sign up schema. So const base sign up schema is equal to g.object. inside first field is our username. Username, which is basically string type. So get.string, let's say its minimum character is 4, dot min, and if it does not have 4 character, then it shows a message as username must be at least 4 characters. That's all. Next is our password. Password key.string, minimum length is 8, and if it is not 8 character string, then it returns a message password must be at least 8 characters. We don't want to handle validation in username, password, email manually. We want that it automatically handles. So only we have to type .string .min and it automatically handles all the validations. Just copy it. Instead of password, call it as confirm password. Get.string .min 8, confirm password must be at least 8 characters. Next, email ID, get.string .email validation, if validation fails, then it returns a message invalid email address. After creating our base sign-up schema, we have to define it as we want to match our password and confirm password. And if it does not match, then we throw a message password do not match, and the error will be attached to the confirm password field. So for matching password and confirm password, we create const signup schema, is equal to base signup schema dot refine So it sends data and checks that data.password is equal to data.confirm password. And if both are not same, then it sends a message passwords do not match. Next, we attach this error with the confirm password path. So for password path, that's all for our sign up schema. Now our sign up schema is created. After that, we have to create our sign up function. Function sign up, and at the end we have to export it. So that inside app.jsx it imports the sign up function. So now inside our sign up function we have to initialize our React hook form. So for this we use const register handle submit form state to handle errors is equal to use form. Here we set resolver jod resolver, and inside jod resolver we have to send our sign up schema. So basically we structures the register for connecting inputs, handle submit for form submission handling, and errors from form state for displaying validation errors. It configures the form to use the jod resolver with the defined sign up schema. Next we have to define on submit function so that it tells after submitting what we have to do. So const on submit it retrieves the data and then console.log data. So this function executed by handle submit, which is this. Upon successful form validation and submission, it currently logs the form data to the console. It is basically inside our signup. Next, we have to declare the return function. Inside return, we create a div. Inside class name, we use min. Flex column, dizzy gray 200. So this is our main container for the entire page. Uses Tailwind CSS classes to set minimum height, enable flex layout as a column direction, and set a light gray background. Now let's npm run dev. Now go to our Google Chrome. So our local host works fine. Next, we create our main content area. For this, we create our main side main, the class name, first is flex grow, second flex, item center, and justify center. So the main container area flex grow ensures that it takes up all the available vertical space. Item center and justify center centers the content, the card, both vertically and horizontally. So item center centers it vertically and justify center it horizontally. Now inside main we have to create a div for card. Here the class name, card with full So this is the container for the signup form, uses a DaisyUI card class. This is basically DaisyUI card class. Sets the max width as a small, white background and a shadow. After the card container, we have to build card body. So create another div. Class name, card body, item center, text center. E8. So this is the content area of the card with centered text and padding. So after that, inside the LeetCode website, first we have logo. So for this, use image tag. Here we specify the source. And after source, we specify alt. Then class name, with 12 empty 4. So it displays the LeetCode logo image. After that, we have title. So let's use h2 tag. We have class name, card title, select none, empty 2. For text, we use LeetCode. So it displays the title LeetCode for the form. After that, we start our form tag. Inside form, we set on submit. So we call handle submit. On submit function. And at class name, use Vite We'll. So this is the HTML form element where on submit is configured to use React hook form. Handle submit function. which handles the validation before calling the custom onSubmit function. So first, we handles the validation before calling the onSubmit function. So now inside our form, we have to create our user input field, password input field, then confirm password input, email input, and sign up button. After that, we have to create a message as a paragraph, have an account, then sign in. Then we have to add our social links. These all things we will see on the next lecture. So thank you for today. That's all.